and welcome back to Satisfactory. In the last episode, I went over what I had done here with the refineries that are going to be making the steamed copper sheets, but I really like the way that the smokestacks kind of poke up through this floor. I think it looks really cool, and it looks kind of, I don't know, organic, I guess, for lack of a better word, on the way the factory is laid out. So there's that. I also did a little bit of tweaking here. For example, I added this row of whatever it's called, foundation, which is above this splitter merger here row, but I don't really care. As long as it's not above the rows for these, that's the point. That doesn't mean that I'm going to add one on this side here, though, that's above those mergers. It doesn't really matter. I potentially could, and then shorten the base by one block all the way down, but that can come later. The first thing I want to do is take a recipe from a hard drive. I'm going to take the turbo fuel one because at least it's something that I may use. And we'll confirm that. And I think, if my notes are correct, that is the last hard drive recipe that is not a space elevator one that I need, or that is available, actually. So we'll take the last couple of space elevator ones, however many there are, and then we can just start expanding our inventory. So what else did I do afterward here? I made sure, I can't remember if I did this actually during the episode or after, but I made sure that all of the power poles would fit in a logical position, which is mostly between the merger and the splitter between two rows. But when we get down here to these fancier ones, I may end up moving these around, but I think these are going to be where they'll be, maybe here. But I'm not sure if I'll connect these guys into those or how I'm going to do that. This stuff's going to be on the ground, so I could easily just do that, and I probably will. Let's see here. Those are already connected. These I can connect down here. The only potential issue is making sure that I put the heights of everything correctly so that I can run the power cords that way. Don't need one here because these are facing the other direction. And this is the iron. Yes, the pure iron. So I can put power poles here. That'll connect these guys in. And I can also connect those guys in like that. And I think that'll work as long as I don't go too high here, or go high enough here with the iron ingots, right? Solid steel. The iron ingots and coal that are coming in here. That reminds me of something I need to write down real quick. Okay, sorry. We'll get to that, maybe not even in this episode, but it reminded me, so I wanted to do it before I forgot. And then the other thing I did here was, in order to make this space, I shifted these over by a little bit. And it also had the advantage, actually I shifted these back by a little bit as well here. So these are now right up next to each other, which is fine. But I think I also shifted these over a little bit. The advantage was that this merger, which is one of the rules that I laid out when I was doing the copper and caterium down there, is that the mergers that are going downstairs need to be centered in a block. Not that it matters. Oh no, that's not good. That one might just come out and go over there before it goes down. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I didn't think about that being there. Crud. Alright, I'll have to figure that out another time. So the next thing that I wanted to do was take care of the limestone. Limestone is wet concrete. That is just 2 refineries. I want to put them... Let's see, I want to put a merger in here, centered in the block, the foundation row. That'll go right there. Give or take a distance. Actually, it needs to probably be out here someplace. And then we grab a refinery. Stand up on here for my own sanity / safety. And we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Over there. Hopefully that was correct. Just dismantle that merger, because of course it's not in the right spot. And that will go here. Should be right there. just to do a quick test of it. I think it might be too far. Yeah, one too far. Doggone it. Okay, let's try putting this here again. I think it's there. I think that's right. Try that again. I had it backwards. Let's see here. One, two, three, four. Something felt wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess that's right. Then you go in there, and you clink into there. Perfect. We'll take those out, and then we just need a splitter over here to handle the splitting of the limestone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you go there. And that one is correct. We could probably eyeball it. Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly where it should be. All right, so the limestone will come up right here, which is too far. I mean, right here in terms of in right here from the bus, which will be out here. So it'll go however long on the bus it needs to come this way and then continue on. I could have sworn I had built enough foundations here, but obviously I did not. I'm going to run out of concrete again. Okay, so then the last thing that needs to be dealt with up here is quartz, which is actually two things. One is silica, and the other is pure quartz crystal. I think, does it matter which one goes where? Let me check something. I don't think it matters at all which one goes where. So on one hand, there's the silica that's coming from the aluminum process that needs to come down here over this pile of rock. And then on the other hand, there's the water that needs to come down here, again, over this pile of rock. And which one I do first doesn't really matter. I want to be mindful of the silica needing to be merged. And I need to figure out exactly how to do a priority merge buffer, which isn't going to be perfect, but it'll be close enough, kind of thing. I know how to do an overflow buffer, but a merge buffer I need to figure out exactly, and you'll do that, presumably with the industrial storage container, because it has 2 inputs and 2 outputs. But I need to figure out how to do it, so maybe I'll put the silica on the end, just because that way I can have the extra space for dealing with the merge buffer. The other advantage is, since this requires water for the wet concrete, yes, if I put quartz, no, because I'm going to want, no, never mind. So let's do a merger here, and that'll be centered in the block. And then this one, whoa, a little bit of lag there. Yeah. This goes here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. I think that's 4. And I'm out of motors now, so that's going to be the last one of these. No, I want off again. How do I keep getting one off? Yes. Is that right? Okay, that one is right. You can see the distance from... I don't have to build the whole thing to see it. And so we want a splitter here that is going to actually be centered in the block. That I know because of the way the refineries work. And this splitter here is going to handle the splitting of the quartz crystal, which is going to come up from... Oh, what about sulfur? Do I want to deal with black powder up here? Or I'll deal with it down there. Even things like these. The only reason I'm making these up here is because they need water. And then if I'm going to make one of the quartz things up here, I might as well make both of them. So I need to get some more concrete, though. Unfortunately. Oh, no! And that's what you call a death. Jeez. Can I do this reload? How much am I going to lose? I don't want to deal with going back to find the body. Not that it was that far, but I don't want to do it. Okay. All I lost was the placement of this refinery, which I fiddled with anyway for a long time. And there I didn't fiddle with it so much. Okay. And then the splitter, it goes here. Perfect. Now let's go this way so I can avoid that hole right there. Jeez. And then I'll get some more concrete for some more foundations. How many is that? 500? Eh, it should be... Oh, well, we'll get one more. As you can tell, I've been getting a lot of concrete lately. Alright, so watch out for the hole. Go up here, switch to power. And then switch back. Quickly build a few of these. So, I mean, well, it might not be a bad idea to build black powder up here. So, black powder's only used in cartridges and obelisks. Cartridges and obelisks, I plan on making as close to what's going to be the mall as possible, so that there's not a bunch of them on a belt. But as far as where black powder goes and comes from, yeah, there's a thing there, so I can't put that all the way out. That's what we're going to run into a lot here. No, I think I'll do it down below, because doing it up here means that, well, A, that I need more space. So actually, I probably shouldn't have gone that far. Yeah, this is probably enough. So for the... Yeah, we need more space up here, and that blocks out the possible building of stuff down here. I'm waffling really bad. Because on one hand, I have to bring coal up here anyway for steel. So I could just bring all the coal up here, however I get it up here. And then use the black powder. But the however I get it up here is probably going to be the same way that I take the silica and quartz crystals. Silica and the quartz crystals will be over there. Down and over to the bus to bring them up the bus. So I could either just put the... No, you know what? I should put the black powder up here. Waffle, 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 waffle. Okay. So let's first do quartz crystal, which is made... No, we just did quartz crystal. Let's make silica, which is made in a constructor. That'd be nice and small. And this is a splitter, which means that I can align this. Silica, we need 3.12. 1, 2, 3 many. I think right there. That's way too far, I think. Yeah, that's one too far. Not way, but one. Constructor. Let's try that again from up here, from down here this time. 1, 2, 3. I think that's all it needs to be. The thing is, these ones kind of stink with the... Yeah, that's it right there. Now, is this lined up good? It is. Wow, is that convenient. Okay. And then finally, we need to have a merger over here, which unfortunately would either need to be right there or way out here because of the whole middle of the row kind of thing. So it's going to have to be way out there, which... Do I care? Kind of. But I also care enough to not mess this one up any. So we'll put it there. And then what comes next is black powder. Because, like I said, if we're bringing coal up here anyway, we might as well bring coal up here anyway. And even the coal could come along that path that the now black powder, silica, and quartz are taking over to the bus from the underbus. Because remember I talked about putting the coal under on the 40 meter level and then bringing it up at some point. That might be enough. Now we'll probably need at least one more row. So that could be a possibility as well. We probably need to mam it up over here. Yeah, long since. We probably should have done this about 5 minutes ago. Okay. High-speed wiring. And given the fact there's one recipe left here, that kind of tells me that we're done with all recipes now. I will verify that after this episode, but we can take one more during this episode at the end. I don't plan on running over today. So now we need to have coal and sulfur. Sulfur is right here, so that's a very convenient spot. So we need a splitter here. And these are made, this is made in, let's see, black powder. This is the fine black powder recipe, though. Oops, sorry, hold on. Find this crazy recipe. Ah, there it is. So this needs to make compacted coal first in an assembler. 0.45 assemblers, and then 3 assemblers making fine black powder. So, in fact, I need more space. Or do I? Well, let me think about how this works. So, given that there's 3... Yeah, I think I'm going to do it in 2 rows. So let's take a splitter here, somewhere. Not sure yet where. But let's just do this for spacing, and then I can work my way backwards. So let's put it there. And then we need an assembler. And that would go... Stop thing. So I need a lot more space. At least that far. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. And then do one more. I think that might do it. Okay. And then I need a merger that goes here. It doesn't have to be centered in the block, but just for argument's sake. And then we go here with another assembler. One, 2, 3. And then we go out here with another splitter. And that one I want to be center. No, this would be a merger, sorry. Be a merger. This one goes here. This is going to merge the line of fine black powder that comes out of this row. I'm not going to be able to finish this until I can get rid of those. Of which there will be 3. This feels like it's over by the wrong amount. Also, I want to adjust its position anyway. Let's do... No, I guess it's right. 1, 2... I feel like that moved too much. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then this isn't lined up right. It should go right there. Merging this way. This I actually want to have... Well, let's see where this goes first. Merger. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then we just assemble this assembler. One, two, 3. I think that was. Yeah, that looks good. And this one. Thank you, lag. That looks good as well. And so this one needs to get moved to splitter to 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there'll be actually, a double set of splitters here because this is going to be compacted coal, which is going to take in coal and sulfur. That's one of those. And then this is going to be fine black powder, which is going to take in sulfur and the compacted coal from this. There were, what did I say? 3 of these, and not even 0.45 of these, but 1 of these. So in fact, what I want to do is plan where this second one is, at least. I'm like, well, maybe I can put the third one in. Okay, there. And there. Look at that. Like it was made to fit there. And then the compacted coal, I want to actually kind of center here so that it goes, let's see, maybe right. This actually should be a splitter, not a merger. Crazy talk. That goes there. Okay. And then this goes here. I want to use a guideline. Like this. Because then this one can go into there. Not directly like that, because that would be crazy. Into there and into there. From one central assembler here. And this was compacted coal. Okay, so that'll take care of this. And that one is right laterally. And I think that finally takes care of everything we want up here. I left myself enough room here for a little catwalk. So that I can see, so I can walk along here and toward wherever I end up. I don't know if I'm gonna, I might not keep this totally square. I might notch it in like this, or I may put the angles down. No, I don't want to put the angles on because then the rails look stupid. So I might just notch it in at certain places as we finish this up. I don't think I don't have the stuff to make a refinery. Let's see, what's next? Oh, so what's next is what's on the bus. And that would be the smelting bus, the bus up here. We already know that we need, first of all, we need to have the bottom 2 rungs of the bus be empty because of power lines. So we can't build on number 2, and I don't want anything on number 1. So the bottom 2 are empty. Then I'm going to do 2 pipes of water. The very, very specific reason being I don't want to have to pump the water up. I don't have to add another pump to the water. But 2 pipes full of water coming up here was the number that we came up with. I'm going to double check that just to make sure that's correct. And then we have copper ore. Copper ore doesn't need to come far, but it does need to come onto the bus from these 2 guys here somehow. I don't know exactly how I'm going to bring it up here yet. Probably just turning this one horizontally, bringing it up, matching it up with wherever the splitter, no, well, however I tie it into here, tie it into the belt it's going to be on. So that'll be on level 5, on stanchion pole 5. That'll only come as far as this. Yes, only as far as this. And then the Caterium will come up, however I bring it up from here, kind of the same kind of way probably. And that'll come up, and that'll come down only as far as this. And then it'll stop. Because there's no reason that I can think of to keep the materials on this bus. They go straight into these things. There's no sense in having the thing go any further. So I think I can reuse both 5 and 6 for something else. Now I have coke coming in over here, so I want to keep, and I probably am going to keep it there. That may vary. Actually, I probably will move it over to be on top of this here, but I'm going to keep it in this, or coming up this way, I think. I think that makes some logical sense. So it'll just shift over by 2 meters. Yeah, 2 meters. And then it's going to go up a few levels, but we'll put coke up there next, and that's going to have to go as far as wherever it's used here in the bauxite process. So that's far enough that I think that we can't reuse that belt for the silica, because silica comes out. Now, petroleum coke comes out of this one, and silica comes out of this one. Oh, we can. That might be useful. So since we're going to dump all the coke into this one, and all the silica is going to come out of here and go that way, I think it makes sense to share the belts with coke and silica, just for posterity. So the iron, I'm probably going to bring, which is the next thing, the iron ore. It needs to all go in here. I'm going to move the hub to where the mall's going to be, which is, I think, going to be over here on the other side of the bus, somewhere between this rock and wherever. The space elevator is going to remain built, but maybe not in that exact spot. So I'm gonna move the hub, so I could bring the iron up a different way. The iron may come up. Well, it's probably gonna come up here in this row because the bus is gonna be here. So I could bring the iron up in, I think, 3 lifts, because I'm going to use 3 miners. We'll probably just pave over. I don't know which one we'll pave over. Well, it's already paved over, but we'll leave it paved over and take the miner up. Somewhere right around there. And then the iron ore only comes this far here, but it also goes all the way down there. So while it wouldn't necessarily need to be its own bus lane here, it does, or other than here, it needs to go all the way down there. So it can stop here, and in fact, if it stops no further than here, which I don't see why I can't bring it up there anyway. So the closest I would bring it up would be like right here. Oh, maybe I'll delete this one and use that one. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Bring the iron ore up and go that way with it. It'll go into there, of course, and it'll go into making the copper alloy. Then I can share the same bus lane for the iron ingots coming out of here, going onto the bus, and then, well, first of all, half of them going right back into here, which I may or may not just shortcut with a splitter into there. But also, coming all the way over and going into there. So given that, I think the iron and the iron ore can share a bus lane. And then we have coal and sulfur. I have copper and bauxite sharing a lane because the copper doesn't need to come very far down. The Caterium lane share is open because the coal, and you could put the coal there or the sulfur there, so that's lane 6, because neither of those are used this far down. The silica, which is on 7, needs to come all the way down here, but the coal, no, the coal needs to go down as far as steel, so that could share with Caterium. Maybe we'll put coal on 6. That might make sense. And then silica's coming all the way down. That's on 7, 6. Bauxite's only going to come a little bit that way, so maybe I can put sulfur on the same lane as the bauxite and copper, which is 5. So that puts this smelting bus... and I'm taking some notes here as I'm talking. That's why I keep tabbing into the character screen so I can have my mouse back. That puts the smelting bus at 8 stackables high. When it comes up over this rock, it's going to get a little bit wonky. Like, it might jump up one level evenly. Or the water might actually be falling off. Yes, the water will be falling off. Because a lot of the water is going to get used in this stuff here. The iron smelting is going to use... Your iron... It's going to use 98, 99. Aluminum is going to use 400, but it's going to produce 80, so 320. That's more than a whole pipe right there. So, in fact, the pipe on level 3 is going to get removed. So we have... Actually, let's do it on this side because this side's higher. And then we'll do the MAM research and we'll call it there. Let's put this here. That's 1, 2, 3. And then we would have a pipe here, if it fits, and then some other combination of stuff. Jump back up there. And that is disturbingly good. Assuming that everything can reach across this greenery here, and in fact this could be, although I probably don't want it to be, it could be closer here. I don't see why I can't do this. This is going to be in this one here, so we'll say right here. 1, 2, 3. And then jump up there. Nope, I missed. And use the picker tool and also jump at the same time. That goes there. And then we want a pipe just to verify that this actually does work. It is too long by not very much. That is very, very sad. Like... one foundation. So I could go halvesies here and halvesies here, and it would work perfectly. Assuming that I can get this to stand right there, which it does, so that'll work. Okay, let's set up the MAM, and we'll unlock the next whatever thing it is. Pocket dimension, or wait, expanded or inflated? Oh, do we only get 2 for this? We might only get 2 for this. Okay, we'll take the 1. We'll research another hard drive, and then we'll take the other. I thought they were going to make enough stuff to be able to spend all the hard drives. Oh, anyway, if not, then not. But I think that works out okay. It's kind of into the rock a little bit, but we'll call that engineering. And that's where we're going to leave it today. So we have set up, unless I'm missing something, we have set up everything that you can even vaguely consider smelting. If you count making concrete, making silica, making quartz, and making black powder or fine black powder as smelting, anything that can be vaguely considered smelting is set up here. And then we'll just have to pass everything down and start assembling all the stuff reassembling all the stuff along the bus. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.